Hi everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel, Bird's Eye Stitches. Today is Friday, it is June the 5th, and for once I don't have to look down at my notes to know what day it is because today is my daughter's birthday. She is turning 12, which is amazing to me. I cannot believe that we have zoomed this far and she's already turning 12. But she is. So I am filming this morning before I head over to go and have her small family gathering birthday party and bring her home. She has been at my dad's house this week playing in the pool, and that is where we're doing our little family birthday party today. So I am filming in the morning so I could say hi to all of you, and then I will head over to get the little one, who's not so little anymore because she's 12. So lots of good surprises for her in store, but I will not go into any of them right now because number one, this is a channel about cross stitch, and number two, and really the more important reason, my daughter is a subscriber to my channel. Thank you very much. But I don't want her to watch this in the time that it takes me to get over to her in the next hour or so, because I don't want to, ruin any surprises. So I will not go into any more detail about all of the fun things we have in store for that, but I will go into more detail about cross stitch. So I wish I had more to show you because it has been 2 weeks since I last filmed, but last week was too hectic. I was at work all week. It is busier than normal as of late. And so, by the time I got home, I did not have the energy or the oomph to pick up a needle or to film or any of that. This is a new week, new stitching, new filming, starting over. So that's what we're doing. So filming today, I still have to go over the end of Maynia because Maynia wrapped up last week. My goal was to do 20 starts in the year of 2020. I accomplished that goal. I was stitching on my last piece on May the 30th, but by golly, they are done. There may be only a teeny tiny little bit started, but they are started. They will go into rotation. And I felt extremely accomplished at the end of that because, I do love new starts, but to have a new start and another new start and another new start and not being able to really put a whole lot of work into these new starts, I like to stitch in chunks, and I like to stitch, I put certain goals in place for myself, and that's half the fun for me. And with this Maynia, you didn't have any time for that. It was just start a new one, start a new one, start a new one. So I was happy to have done it. I don't know that I will do such a big thing next year. Next year who knows what it'll be next year, but it'll probably not be 21 pieces, but maybe it will be. We'll see what happens next year. But for this year, my May calendar is looking pretty impressive. There's only 4 days that I did not do any stitching. My June calendar is not nearly as impressive because I have only picked up the needle one time in the entire month of June. So I just like to look at May because it looks much better. But still, this is the closest I have come to stitching every single day of the month. Maybe July. July may be the month that I do stitch every day. Still came pretty close in May though. All right, today's video. Today I've got 2 whips to show you, even though I only put a teeny tiny little bit into each one. That's all right, at least I worked on them. I have the rest of the Maynia pieces that you have not seen yet. I'm not gonna go through all of the Maynia pieces, even though, Maynia did wrap up. I just feel like I was already filming every week, and so you guys have already seen them fairly recently. I'm also thinking about doing a whip parade later in the month of June, and obviously all of those would come back out in the whip parade. I didn't do a whip parade when I started my channel, and I have quite a few in there that during Maynia, I rediscovered. So I think that would be a fun video to do, but I don't want to show these all to you now and then show them all to you in 2 weeks because, you've seen it once, you've seen it twice. I think 3 times is a little much in in a 2-month period. So I will just go over the ones that I started in this past week. I also have a giveaway at the end, giveaway winner from the last video that I did. I think it was the shoes, and a tiny bit of haul. My haul this week was from Goodwill. I did some Goodwill shopping and they actually had some cross stitch patterns. So yeah, that's what we have today. We will dive right in. Whips. Whips are on the top of my pile, so we will start there. I went on a road trip, and if you've been watching my channel, then you know that on road trips, I like to stitch mill hill pieces. I love the perforated paper for being on the road because it's nice big holes. I don't have to have a hoop or anything like that with me. Typically the mill hill pieces, they don't require quite as much counting. I mean, the ones that I choose are kind of the more blocks of color, so less counting, bigger holes means less chance of getting car sick. So I still got a little car sick, so I didn't get that much stitching done, but that's okay. I did a little bit. So you've seen this one before, I think during my last car trip. It is Mill Hill's Buttons and Beads series Magic Shoes. One day it's gonna look like this. I actually think I'm gonna bring this one into my normal home rotation just because I'm kind of sick of working on this one. Every time I work on it for like 20 minutes, and at that rate, it's never gonna get done. I'm gonna be working on this same travel piece for the next 2 years. So I may incorporate that. We'll see. But here is what I got done. We are here. Last time you guys saw this, I just had a little bit of the green done by a shoe, and I think I had this green. I finished the green in the stockings on both legs. That is as far as we have gotten. Like I said, I think I'm gonna incorporate this into my regular stitching rotation this week. In fact, I'm gonna set this to the side right now so I don't forget, just because I'm ready for a new mill hill. I like this one. I love this little cat head. I think he's cute, but it's time to finish this one. I think I've been working on this one in the car for a year, and I'm this far, so it's time. Beyond that, the only other piece that I worked on, and it's kind of a new start and a whip, but I know I talked about starting it in my last video, so you knew I was starting it, but I hadn't officially started it yet. So it is the Long Dog Sampler, the Pilgrim. One day it will look like this. Sorry, there is a glare. I am loving stitching this. I haven't gotten that far just because, like I said, I haven't really done a whole heck of a lot of stitching, and the stitching I was doing was set aside for Maynia starts. But this one is going to stay in my normal rotation, so I hope to finish this one, you know, by the end of the year. I'm loving it. It's also a nice break because I'm stitching it only in one color, and so if I'm working on a more complicated piece, I can then pull this one out. You know what I mean. I love it. So I'm stitching this one on a piece of Bee Stitch Me fabric. It is a gray and purple 36 count linen. The way I have it all wrapped up in my Q-snap is a little wonky. Sorry, I've got like fabric everywhere because it's a big old piece and I just kind of crammed it in there. I'm stitching it in the color white DMC. I got that part. So a teeny tiny little bird is starting to be seen, and this right here is the beginning of a rooftop. So that is where we're at. I really love the white against this grayish blue purple color. And of course, because I've got the window, you know, in front of me, even though it's fairly cloudy-ish, you know, and it's early morning light, so that the lighting's pretty good, but the sunlight picks up on the blue more than the normal blue color would show through. But I love this one. This one's going to be staying in my normal rotation. There will be more progress on this, hopefully soon. In fact, I'll probably be working on this one tonight, so we'll see. All right, those are the only whips that I have. All of the rest are new starts, and they are the new starts that will wrap up Maynia. So the first one that I worked on was a Mill Hill kit. It was not on perforated paper, it's actually on linen. It is from the Blooms and Blossoms series called Floral Bouquet. It will one day look like this. It is a kit, so I am obviously stitching it on called for everything. And it was actually kind of funny when I was trying to separate the floss for this one, because I didn't have this one prepped and ready. It was kind of one of my maybe I'll stitch it, maybe I won't stitch it pieces. I decided to stitch it, so then I had to prep the floss. Well, normally on a Mill Hill kit, at least the ones that I'm used to, it will usually tell you how many strands of each color come in the kit. So when you're separating them out, you can say, you know, if there's 2 yellows that are close together or 2 purples that are close together, you can kind of tell which one goes with which because they have a different number of strands, or you know how many strands there are. This one didn't do that. Instead, in fact, I brought the instructions because instead of providing me with how many strands of each color there were, they gave me a note. It says, when determining colors, wrap each 6-strand length of floss around a pencil to help with color visibility. That did not help with color visibility. The yellows still looked like a very close yellow. The purples, not so much. I did try it because I was sort of intrigued, you know, why would they say to wrap it around a pencil? Why not lay it on top of a piece of paper? Why not, you know, why a pencil? Was there something special about the pencil? No, I saw no difference in the pencil. Mill Hill, hopefully they will provide me with how many strands of each color there are in the future instead of giving this random tip. So I don't know if that's on all Mill Hill kits, and I never noticed it till this time because I was struggling to separate the colors, but it's the first time I ever noticed it, and it did not help me. So if you have had better luck with that, let me know, All right, this one does not come with perforated paper. It comes with a linen, and the linen is a really bright, pretty green, which I think is the main reason I even fell in love with this piece, to be honest, was I like the green. We got to, how does it go? It goes like this. We are here. This is stitched 2 over 2. And I don't know if it tells me what type of linen it is. It doesn't tell me, right? It's not on the front page there, but got this far. This will be a really fun one. I have, I think, 2 out of the 3 of the Blooms and Blossoms series. This is what, or 3 out of the 4, I guess. Those are the other 3. The only one that I'm missing is the blue one. I may pick that up at some point and do all 4 of these, just because I really like the bright linen color that comes with them. I don't like separating out the floss, but it's really not so bad. It's not so bad once you break it down, but it's been a while since I've had to separate them out for a Mill Hill, and I said, I'm a creature of habit. I'm used to seeing certain things, and then when that's gone, I go, where did it go? So, got to here. After that, I stitched on Hand Blessings, Deer in the Spring Wood. Will one day look something similar to this. I am using mostly called for. I did do a little bit of conversions just because I didn't have what they were asking for. The fabric it's a mystery fabric that I got from Friday Night Fight Night on Be Stitch Me. And it's a beautiful, beautiful fall type color. Looks like this. I got that far. The color that I am stitching in right now is DMC 935. I actually really like this color green. It's a great green for trees. But you will see on all of these, I did not get very far, but like I said, I started them. They are now in the rotation, and Maynia is complete. So I will be keeping at least one of these in my normal rotation until we have some finishes. So got that far. I really like this piece, this hand blessings piece. I haven't really seen it stitched up very often, but I know it's going to go really well in my in-laws' home. They did live in Colorado. They are in the middle of a move right now, so I think that this piece will be kind of a nice remembrance piece about their old home in the woods in Colorado, because there was always deer in their yard, always deer all over the place. So looking forward to having that one finished by Christmas. It would be a great Christmas gift if I can get it done by then. It's not a hard piece, it's blocks of color, it's not even a very big piece, so I do think that that will be possible. I'll probably even bring it out in Jolly July. I know it's not super Christmassy, but it will be a Christmas gift. I don't know if that counts. We'll see. I haven't gone quite that far in real planning land yet, so we'll see what happens. All right, the next piece was I Stitch Alone at Midnight by Abby Rose Designs. Will one day look like this. I'm doing this part. I am not doing this purple border that goes around it. I'm just gonna skip that part because I don't know why, it just didn't call to me. I normally really like borders. In fact, I get really excited about stitching the box, and then when it all matches up, then woohoo, it matched up. But I like boxes. It's probably why I'm into cross stitch. I like boxes. But this border just didn't speak to me as much with the pattern. So I'm still gonna stitch this little zigzag underneath the witch, you know, to symbolize the ground, but I'm skipping the square. Since I'm skipping the square, I began working on the moon. We are this far. Ta-da! This is on Called For. I did Called For Everything. I think it's a mix of DMC and maybe Weeks Dye Works. Oh, mix of DMC, Weeks, and Gast. So a big mix of stuff. But I had 4 DMCs that I substituted in because I didn't have the specialty floss, but they're all Called For. So far I am stitching in DMC 742. This is one of my favorite colors. Yellow, shocker, I know. And it is on Picture This Plus Murky, 2/2. And we got that far. Basically, one strand of floss, set it aside. All right, the last one, no, I have 2 more. So I worked on, this is a Christmas piece. I was trying not to do too much Christmas because I do have Jolly July coming, but this one, I saw it in my drawer and it called to me. Apparently I was feeling like I needed some Christmas spirit or something. This is not the piece I worked on, but this adorable polar bear is what spoke to me. What I am working on is a piece from Cross Stitch Crazy magazine. This guy here. This is, I don't know what issue this is. Issue, I don't know. We'll find out and put it in the comments, I suppose. But Cross Stitch Crazy. Cover looks like this. The piece that I am stitching is Cozy Critters. All of these 4. I am not stitching them as ornaments. I am instead stitching them all 4 together on one piece of fabric. It's a 16 count pewter Aida from Picture This Plus. I'm not gonna leave them all as one, I don't think. I think I'm gonna somehow frame them separately or create something with them separately, maybe cards, something along those lines. But I had finished the polar bear. I am now working on, is it the owl or the penguin? Let's see, the penguin. So I'm working on the penguin. I substituted out colors because this was all a stitch from stash, but Number one, I love this fabric. This pewter Aida is just beautiful. You know, I love the grays. This is a perfect cool tone gray. And we got that much stitching done. Again, one piece of floss. That color is a DMC 563. So this is a really pretty color combination. I like the gray with this greenish color. Looking forward to seeing the whole sweater done in this one. I pulled him out. He will definitely make a comeback in July for Jolly July. Maybe I'll even finish him in July because these really did not take very long to stitch. So he'll probably be done in July. Then last but not least was one, I know every week I've been trying to pull a really old whip, something that I've maybe put in 1 or 2 stitches in. And when I say really old, I mean like 10 years old, short of the unicorn. The unicorn was the exception, that's only a year old, but it still made its way into the rotation. So the old one that I found is a kit. It is a Dolly Mama's kit. I know I got this from Michael's many moons ago. It says, "Go braless, it pulls the wrinkles out of your face." Looks like this. I remember seeing this in Michael's. It made me laugh. I had someone in mind when I was stitching this originally. Well, I shouldn't even say stitching this because I got like 3 stitches in, but when I picked this up, I had someone in mind to stitch this for. I still know that person, and I think I'm still going to stitch this for her because she will get a kick out of it. So this is a kit called For Everything. It is on a 14 count cotton Aida 2/1 because it's 14 count Aida. It is kind of a scratchy piece, but I don't mind. It's not too bad. I was stitching this in a hoop. It was put away in a hoop, and I am actually still stitching this in a hoop, so you can see the hoop ring. But I got to, there we go, it goes like this. Got to here. So I have part of a bra, a piece of an arm. That's where we're at. So this one's gonna stay in my rotation throughout this month. Not this week, but it will come back out shortly this month because like I said, I still know the person who I had in mind when I was stitching this piece, and I would like to get it done, and it will not take that long to stitch. There is not a whole heck of a lot of detail. It's not very big. It's super cute. I remember seeing these all the time at Michael's back in the day, and I haven't seen them in the longest time. If anyone has stitched any of these, please let me know because I haven't really seen these finished, and I don't know that I just want to frame it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one yet. First things first, stitch it. All right, that wrapped up the Maynia. So all of the Maynia starts are done. The 20 for 2020 are complete. I will be keeping them in my rotation. You will see all of them in all of their glory during the whip parade later this month, along with some other old stuff. 2 tiny bit of whips, tiny bit of progress. We will do better this week. Busy times. Haul. I have a little bit of haul. Like I said, it was Goodwill haul, and I also got some Stitchy Kindness in the mail. So I will start with the Stitchy Kindness because it is on top here. I have a friend, I did not ask if I could use her name, so I'm not going to, but she sent me a box of tea, like herbal teas, green teas, fruity teas. When I say a box of tea, I mean, it was a box of tea. Like there was probably 25 full packages of loose leaf, amazing tea. It was unexpected. I didn't even know it was really coming, and it completely made my day. With some health stuff going on, I've been changing up diets, looking at some different medications and whatnot for rheumatoid arthritis. And with the new medication, I'm just gonna have to make some lifestyle changes, which are not end of world, but you know, I wanted to start incorporating some more teas into my diet. She didn't even know this, but it just so happened that as I was researching this and looking, you know, thinking about starting this new tea thing, this box of tea showed up. So that was amazing. Along with the tea, the reason why I'm bringing it up here on the channel about cross stitch is she also sent a baggie of floss. Now, I have never heard of this floss. It's not DMC, it's Iris floss. Never heard of it. But, I mean, super fun colors here. There is all different colors of variegated floss. I mean, Halloween, hello, Halloween, you know, little small pieces that you just want one color or one good variegated floss to complete. Look at that. I'm going to use this for something Halloween related. This blue is beautiful. There's all sorts of different colors. You know, I love this one, the orange, the yellow, the red. It's a sunset in some floss. I've never heard of this company. I've never stitched with this company, but it's beautiful. A beautiful bag of color. So thank you very much to that friend who sent me this beautiful bag of floss and all the tea. Looking forward to trying a new brand of cotton floss and new colors. So that was fantastic. Goodwill. Went to Goodwill. Normally our Goodwill doesn't have a whole heck of a lot, to be honest. I get frames there, I get wooden things that, you know, one day when I fully finish something will be put on to the pieces of wood that I buy at Goodwill. Right now, I just feel like I'm hoarding away pieces for finishing since I have yet to fully finish stuff. I did get sticky board in the mail through Amazon. It's right back here. I'm not going to show that to you because it's ginormous and it's sticky board. I'm watching tutorials. I'm going to try it likely this week. Anyway, what I did get from Goodwill that was stitch related, besides a frame, this time they had cross stitch patterns. So I stumbled on it. It was a grab bag. So it was a few patterns. They were all together, you know, wrapped up in one bag. All you could see was the pattern on the front and the pattern in the back. The entire grab bag was $2. So even though the pattern on the front maybe didn't speak to me, $2 for a mystery bag of cross stitch charts, yeah, all day long, take my $2. Every single time I will purchase that. So I figure if I don't like it, they'll end up as giveaways at some point, or I'll just do a rack and send them out to other people who I think may want to stitch them. So in this bag, this is what I had on the front. It is the Lighthouse by Threads Through Time. I can see that it came from my local LNS, the Attic Needlework. At the time it was $6, so I spent $2 for the entire pack, and this chart apparently was $6. So didn't speak to me, but like I said, cross stitch. So this is the first one. All in little farm, little lighthouse, full coverage. All of these are just the chart. So that was on top. Got that guy. Then the next one in the package is the Autumn Leaves Sampler, also by Threads Through Time. Looks like this. I really like the colors in this one. You know I do not like the alphabet, but this border is actually really fun, and I could see using it for something. The next one was kind of different. I've never seen this before. It is Napoleon Model 1857, and it's designed by Christina W. Frost. Looks like this. I'm not gonna stitch this one. Maybe I'll rack it to someone who might. I'm honestly not that much of a history buff. It's different, I'll give it that. It's different. Sorry for the glare. So, looks like that. Next one up, this is one that I do really like. It's U.S. Atlantic Coast Lighthouses collection by Covered Crossings Stitchery. the West Quoddy Head Lighthouse. I do love lighthouses. One day I would like to have a wall of lighthouse pieces. I own a couple of them, yet to finish one, but that could change. I don't typically like houses, but I like how this is a realistic looking house. So I do like this one. And I like the red and white striped lighthouse in the background. So this one I am keeping. I will one day stitch this. I don't know when, but some point in time. Then the last one in the package, and the other reason that I bought it, the back of it was showing, and I could see these really pretty little charms in the back. And I do have the piece that I finished by Thistles with the sheep. I need some charms for that piece, and there was one of them, the bird charm that I wanted to use in that piece. So I figured if nothing else, I need this charm. So I didn't know what the charm went to, but I was happy to bring it home. So what the charm does go to is a design by Waxing Moon Designs. It's called The Best Things. Looks like this. And it's got these really pretty little hearts, and you can see they use the charms in each heart. I'll try to get that to... I will not be using the charms in these hearts because I have other projects that I think could use these charms. This will end up being a giveaway piece with the charm that I don't use at some point, because it's a cute design. It's just not one that I foresee using, or, you know, I don't know anyone's home decor that I could stitch this for them. So I really like it though. So I want somebody to stitch it. And it has some cute charms. So that was my Goodwill find. Then I got in the mail from, looks like from Guerin Toten Bags. I did an order because they had bags and, oh my gosh, my brain just went dead. What are these called? Grime Guard. They had a grime guard and a bag that called to me because it was Peter Pan themed, and I didn't love the grime guard quite as much because it's Tinkerbell, and Tinkerbell is not my favorite Peter Pan character, but my daughter was huge into Peter Pan back in the day. It was her very favorite Disney movie. And a lot of the Peter Pan stuff that you find is all centered around Tinkerbell, but this one, the bag was not. So I'll show you the bag first just because I love it so much. It's classic. It's gray, it's classic Peter Pan, it's got all the great characters to it. I absolutely love it. The inside is Tinkerbell. I don't mind if the inside is Tinkerbell because the outside is glorious. So, looks like this. The reason why I was shopping during his sale was because I needed another 8x8 grime guard because I have two 8x8 Q-snap frames and I only had one grime guard, and typically I have a little bit larger piece on these smaller frames, and so I needed something to tuck my fabric into. I fell in love with the bag, then I got a matching grime guard, and it's Tinkerbell. So the two together look like this. All right, that's it. That's haul. That's my tiny bit of whips. That is Maynia. That's all I have. That's all I have. Giveaways. If you've made it this far, then you've made it this far. Giveaway time. We had watercolor dogs. Looks like this. I did announce the winner to this one on the last video. I've not heard from her just yet. So Jennifer C., if you are watching this video, please send me an email. I will have my email address below, but it's just birdseystitches@gmail.com. I will link that. Send me an email, send me your address. I will get this guy in the mail. I actually just made a mail run yesterday, so I dropped off a couple of things. Things are headed out and about right now. Then last week, the chart that I was giving away was actually a book. Was this one? It is Shoes, Hats, Purses, Oh My by Alma Lynn. Hobby Lobby special. Looks like this. The winner for that one was Gabby Stitches. So congratulations, Gabby Stitches. You're a regular commenter, so I'm sure I will hear from you. I just need your address. Send it to me in an email, birdseyestitches@gmail.com. The shoes are yours. This week's video, or this week's giveaway, is going to be I wanted something kind of springy. I know we're in summer and not spring, but I was feeling spring. Small update that I didn't think about saying till right now. Yesterday I woke up and thought, I'm gonna spend the whole day stitching because my daughter is at my dad's house. I had originally taken the day off from work because typically we're at Disneyland right now. And even though we're not at Disneyland, I said, I'm gonna keep my day off. So I still worked a little bit in the morning, but for the most part, full day off. So what better way to spend a day off than stitching? But I ended up going down the giant rabbit hole of organization in the stitch room. I did a complete overhaul of all of my charts. So I used to have all of my charts in alphabetical order in 3-ring binders. You know, I had them in dividers, and then I have 3-ring binders, and it made the 3-ring binders extremely bulky, and it was hard to flip them because of the different sizes of the charts. You know, some were heavier than others, and it took up so many little small 3-ring binders. It was a pain. And so anytime I got a new chart, they would end up going into a stack because I didn't want to mess with having to move sheets around, and it wasn't working out. So I've been looking for different ideas on how to organize my charts and organize my stitch room in general. So the charts are done, the rest will follow. What I ended up doing is getting some of they just look like crates. They're nothing glamorous, I guess, although I really like them. They're just black crates, but they're the ones that have the little things in the side to where you can put hanging file folders into them. So I have hanging file folders in these black crates, and I was able to put all of my cross stitch magazines into the hanging file folders, as well as all of my charts. So I have it all separated. I have magazines, I have some stuff separated by season. So I have my Halloween and my Christmas stitching is separate, and then everything else is alphabetical order. Certain designers where I have a whole bunch of stuff by them, you know, basically 3 or more charts, or designers where I know I'm gonna be buying more stuff, they have their own little divider, but everyone else, it's just alphabetical order. And now when I need something, I just go in there and I flip over and there it is. When I get stuff in the mail, I log it, I use the cross stitch app, and then I just simply, you know, drop it in. So really, really excited about that. But while I was doing that, I found a bunch of charts that, even though I like them, I will likely not stitch them. So those are the ones that I want to give out to all of you guys. So the first one that I stumbled upon, and I'm only doing one a week because, you know, post office, it can get spendy and time consuming, and one a week, I know my limits. That's where we're at. The one for this week is Woodland Fairies. I love this one. I know, when will I ever stitch this? So try to get a close up here. This one is my favorite. I think this little girl is so precious, and I love the bee. There's also this guy here. It looks like it's 2 fairies with a hedgehog and some really pretty flowers on the hedgehog. And then this one, it's a fairy and a opossum. Possum. So you get all 3 of these in this book. I will ship this anywhere in the world, US, outside of the US, doesn't matter to me. Wherever you are, if you win this, I will pop this in the mail for you. Normal rules, please be over 18 so you can give me your address. Don't say the word giveaway. The word for this one, I'm thinking, just keep it easy. We'll say fairies, F-A-I-R-I-E-S, fairies. That will be the word. I will be using the random comment generator next week to pick that winner. So if this is something you would stitch, then good luck. Use the word fairies in your comment. I think that's it. Plans, a little bit of plans. The Long Dog Spring Quaker is coming back out because I haven't touched that in the longest time, and I need to show it some love. Actually, I need to do some frogging, which is part of why it got put away, but it has to happen. And then the Mill Hill piece will stay in my rotation, and I need to do a dive in my magazines to find a good thank you pattern. Just something small that I can use my new fancy floss for, to stitch a quick little thank you card for my friend who sent me the box of tea and the box of floss. So those are my plans. Beyond that, I'm gonna go enjoy my family and my daughter for her birthday. Enjoy the week, and I will see you all probably next Friday. I think Friday is the easier day for me to record just because it's my day off of work when everybody else is at work. And come weekend, my weekends have been a little busier lately. So yeah, I will see you next Friday. Happy stitching. Thank you for being here, and see you next time.